Welcome back to another tutorial here for Era of Celestials. We're going to go ahead and hop into today to the crafting. Now this is going to be what mainly you grind out for, get excited for, fight bosses for, those pieces that increasing your gear's level, right? Making sure you can get to the next level set, continue the growth of your character, and of course the aesthetics are always a bonus. But there's more to that than just your equipment here for you, so we're going to take a little bit of time. And if I go on some tangents, I apologize, because there will be pieces of this you get from a whole lot of other aspects to this game. But I just kind of want to go through the layout of the actual crafting tab here for you. So on the top left, you will see your drop down of all the categories of items that you can craft. So we'll start from the beginning here with the gems. Relatively self-explanatory. The two you're really only going to use are going to be the attack gem and the health gem. Attack gems go in the weapons and accessories, and the health gems go in your armor. Okay, health gems increase your hit points, and the attack gems will shockingly increase your attack. Fiery gems, these are higher level unique gems, and the same thing with the sea prisms that usually you acquire through top ups and spending money, or possibly some resource events, just depending on how long you've been playing. Just side note again, always save half of your resources. I can't say it enough. But moving on. So the second one down are going to be your forge materials, right? So these are what you're going to acquire from Warrior Guard or any pretty much kind of event through the game, even just random killing of monsters, you'll come across these items. This is where you can turn a basic into a medium and medium into advanced. Each one requires 3 of the pieces prior to craft a level up. The magical spirit stones, this is where you can take the shards you've been getting. You can get them in the Dark Ruins, and I'll get into farming those a little bit later. But just quick note, if you're doing the Dark Ruins, as soon as that countdown hits after you reach level 100 for his anger or hatred level, make sure you find the nearest swarm of bosses and attack them until the time runs out, because every boss you kill, or I shouldn't say every boss, excuse me, every monster you kill in the Dark Ruins will give you a shard, which then you can craft into any piece you really are desiring to work towards whatever set you need. I will tell you from my experience, the rarest spirit stones are going to be your chest stones, number 1, and then your pants or legging stones. As far as armor goes, the rarest are going to be your accessory stones, and then the second rarest are going to be your weapon stones. As you can see here, the weapon stones are just the same price as any other armor. So if it were me starting over again, I probably would use all my shards to start crafting these at early stages. Go down to the Phantom Spirit Stones, and these are your accessory Spirit Stones, okay? As you can notice here, same thing. Only 10 shards to craft one. So I would personally not craft any armor stones throughout the game starting over, because you end up with a lot of armor stones and not a whole lot of accessory and weapon stones. For instance, I have at this point, let's just say, for a rough estimate, 15,000 armor stones. Probably more than that. Probably, I'm sorry. No, yeah. No, I take that back. 2,000 armor stones. Now, if I want to translate to that, how many accessory stones I have, I don't know, 200, maybe 300. So if I were to go back and really help myself out, use the accessory stones, and then go ahead and craft your weapon stones as needed. But the fantasy equipment, these are your mythic stones. These are, in my opinion, the most important item in the game. Unfortunately, you're only probably going to get them from top-ups and or other events that happen from week to week, along with the new event that just happened, and we'll get into that in a later episode. You can get these shards from one of the merchants on the map, and I think they are 500 rubies per shard here of these stones. So it sounds expensive, but on the average price, one of these is $50, $25 on a good day if they have the buy one get one event, in equivalence of diamonds. So super rare, but these are what is used to craft mythical items, and that's when we're kind of transition, into the equipment piece here for you. But as you move down here, you're going to have your sprites. You're not going to spend a whole lot of time here, guys. I hate to say it to you. I personally have never gotten one of these items or spent my resources for an event on them. They have increased the amount they have in here for you, but Raphael and Bhaskar here, it just came out, and you're not going to acquire enough of these without spending usually about $300 on a given event to go ahead and craft these, at least instantaneously. You maybe over a long period of time you'll get enough, but not a whole lot of things going on here. The main two you're going to spend a lot of time, or I should say main three, are gems, your forge materials, and your training materials. Your training materials is the same thing as the forge stones, but they allow the fruits for your mount, the Elysian essence for your legions, and the spritelys for your sprites to upgrade, to continue to upgrade those from basic to medium to advanced, to go ahead and use them as your characters level up. You will only be able to use a certain level of resource to go ahead and do so. Also, you can go ahead and do the metals, so you can go ahead and get those basic or bronze metals into silver and silver into gold as you need them, so they're not completely wasted. Other than that, the vouchers, jump up here, the vouchers you're going to get, definitely try to recommend as much as you can to make them into grade B, A, then S. You get a significant experience boost from them if you do level S grade, and along, I believe, you might get a little extra gold out of them too when you do your mercenary events every day. You can always buy grade A mercenary vouchers for 10 rubies a piece in the shop. So if you are a little flush with rubies, as I am right now, and I need some experience, that's definitely a trade I will make, and then craft them into grade S mercenary tickets here for you. Or vouchers. So mount equipment, same kind of concept as regular equipment. You get mount equipment through some boss hunts, maybe in the Sacred Ruins, and a few other places. Pretty cut and dry here, and we kind of went over the mount equipment when we went over the mount tutorial. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, please watch that episode. Feathers here, crafting feathers at level 3, 4, or 5, and I believe they'll put 6 in here eventually since they just came out with it. If you're lucky enough to find one, count your blessings. But if you'll acquire shards through events, and eventually you'll get 100 being able to craft a feather, which then you can take it to the wings tab and go ahead and craft your wings. Now, for more details and strategy on that, please watch the wings episode. I don't want to waste time repeating everything here for you, for those who have watched that episode. Relics here, these are going to be the same concept. You do acquire 3 or 4 of these through the spirit realm. However, you don't get them until you're level 300 to 500, or 300 to 350, excuse me. So still worthy of getting. Usually you find these in chests, and any chest you do, when you open it, you can pick which one of the 4 you want a shard for. And then over time you'll be able to accumulate enough to go ahead and craft, and I do mean a lot of time. This is not something, one, that you're going to find regularly, 2, that does a great deal of increase for your character, but over time it does provide some extra attributes that really come in handy, like Celestino's Bite has a chance to stun the characters, other things like that. As far as equipment chests, these are your best friends. If you can find these for cheap in events, I recommend purchase them. It's certainly off the midway in the game when you're level 7, 8, and 9 gear here for you, because it will automatically give you a legendary 2-star or 3-star piece. Now, armor, you get that a lot just from grinding out the bosses, but the rings, the amulets, the weapons, really handy. I got all my level 9 3-star legendary accessories from these alone, which has been a great help, because you're gonna have a struggle finding them anywhere else in the game, at least on a high level. And then let's see if there's anything else truly important. Treasure maps are always fun. You'll get chests when you do regular treasure maps to open up a piece, and you'll gather these items here, the scroll, the ink, and the feather or the quill. Once you have all of them, you can craft a legendary treasure map. which either spawns an instance or a random world boss, which will then either give you a shot at getting a nice piece of equipment for crafting and or some spirit stones. So and some perfect spirit stones, but we'll get into that also in a later episode. Appearance, these are going to be your mounts crafting, same thing, shards there for you, very rare, and some titles here for you as well. Tyrant Soul is brand new, only can be acquired through the vent. I personally haven't dabbled as much in that as I probably should have, but I will get back to you in a later episode, you know, defining that a little bit more when I get the ins and outs of it. Elysian, same concept. You acquire the shards, you can get the Elysian, again, Elysian sprites, feathers, relics, all these are extremely rare. So the most what you're going to do in here are gems, forge material, training material, and vouchers. And that's really about it. That you'll get very acquainted with very quickly. But I want to move on to the equipment tab. So anytime you acquire, and of course I crafted all mine for this evening, you will see a red star here, a red star here, a red circle I should say, excuse me, and then a drop down which one you can craft. So let's say for instance I had 3 epics, so 3 yellow pieces of weaponry here of level 9, right? 3 sticks of a poach. Then they would quick input, put all into this place. You can then, if you feel lucky, go ahead and click craft, and you have a 60% chance of getting a legendary 2-star, and then so on and so forth. 3 legendary 2-stars equip a 3-star. You can, however, select consume rubies to possibly save 1 to 2 of these pieces if it fails. The bulk majority of the time I've gotten 1 back. There has been a small possibility a couple times where I've got nothing back, and a few times that I've got 2 back. So I only recommend using this if you're on a lower level where it doesn't cost a ton, and or you're going for a harder item like a weapon and you're going for a 3-star legendary. I personally don't use them on any epic equipment, only legendary equipment, but that's my personal preferences. Now the mythic equipment, a little bit different. Is again, you're going to need those mythic stones, and it's based how many on the grade you're trying to craft. So for grade 9 you would need 8 mythic stones to craft 1 piece of mythic weaponry or mythic armor or mythic accessory. Okay, now on top of that you're also going to need 3 legendary 3-star pieces of weaponry or armor, again class specific to what you're trying to use. Now this could be, let's just say, I don't know, for me a book, 2 books and a staff, 2 staffs and a book, 3 staffs, doesn't matter, doesn't have to be the exact same piece, but they have to be in the same class. And the same concept for armor. One could be a helmet, one could be a helmet, one could be boots, one could be leggings, and I could be crafting a chest piece, right? It doesn't matter as long as they are of that level and that class. Now with that being said, it gives you 4 stars here, but it really only shows 3. There is no difference. As you can see, I do have a level 9 mythic staff equipped, and it shows you the significant difference. If you can, this is what I recommend. Now, I'm not saying go out and spend all your money in this game, but if you do choose to spend money, make it an event where you can acquire mythic stones for about $10 to $12 a piece, and in the future here I'll break down every event as they come out, and kind of give you my best advice if it's save your money, or go all in, and this is the one for you. But other than that, equipment's pretty cut and dry as well. Divine equipment, don't even bother. So I was a guild leader for a while, and I had a good buddy that was a leader of another guild, and the only way to get celestial equipment is to be the #1 guild on your server, and then through the guild league, based on certain win streaks, only in the S class, only the best, only the winner get 1 piece. Okay, sounds great, but they start at level 6, which you can't see, which are these right here. So let's just say I go, and this happens once a week, so let's say I go a week and I get 1, right? I break the other guild who had the lead forever. So if you break a streak from another guild, you automatically get one of these, right? So it gives you a chest, you pick what you want, you pick staff, okay? Then 2 weeks later, I get a streak of 3, so I get another chest. Then I get that one, right? So now I have 2 staffs. Then I have to get, the only way to get these, and don't confuse these with mythic stones, divine equipment magic stones can only be acquired by dismantling these staffs. So I would have to get 5 regular or celestial grade 6 staffs, deconstruct or dismantle 3 of them to upgrade to a level 7. And just to show you for equivalence what a level 7 will look like post to my 9, they're a little step up from mythic, but by no means are they way up and beyond. Okay, I have 2 level 6 staffs and 2 level 6 books that I gave to other characters, one to my kids, one to my wife's characters and their alt characters, because frankly it's just not worth the grind. So cool to look at, cool to aspire to, but practically pointless. Okay, and the relic tab here is how you can actually craft upgraded relics. Now, as you noticed before, the original relics were under the craft tab and the drop down and then relic. This one here is when you have more than one. So once you have more than one relic, you can craft a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, and they just introduced 4-star relics. But as you can see here, the ingredient or the catalyst for this are the Relic Stones. Rare, but not as rare as mythic stones. You will see these in events and other places pop up and around. Acquire them when you can. You won't need them very often, but when you get to higher level gameplay, you'll need 20-30 of them to really get your character going. So keep it in mind, just so you know what they are. They are the catalyst to enhance your relics from no stars to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. The only other thing to consider here is they do, once, I think it's actually once you get to 2 stars, but let me double check. Yes, so once you get to 2 stars, you're actually going to need advanced relic stones. To my knowledge, there is no way to take a basic relic stone and craft it into a mythic relic stone or advanced relic stone. You have to acquire these through events and usually a lot of capital, a lot of money, but overall, so far down the road for most, or so little effect by doing so that not worth the time, money, and heartache to get. So in a nutshell, main thing in this crafting window you're going to use most often is crafting your gems, forging your forge stones, getting your training materials, and your vouchers to whatever level your character, legion, sprites need, and then getting your equipment crafted to continue to upgrade your character for both BR, defense, and every other attribute, as well as aesthetics. So I know it's a lot of information. I know it's a long video. Hang with me, and I'll see you in the next episode.